Hi, I'm Dr. Arjun Sinha, but I go by AJ and I use he and him pronouns. I'm a lifelong Hoosier and I'm a nephrologist here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I think we're all familiar with the inequities of our for-profit health insurance system in the United States. We're familiar with statistics like the tens of thousands of people that die needlessly every year for lack of health coverage. We're familiar with statistics of hundreds of thousands going into bankruptcy because of healthcare costs every year. But for me, as an activist and organizer in support of Medicare for All, it's the experiences of my patients and my family that make me a supporter. These examples include, just from this last month, February 2020, first, a patient of mine that I was seeing in the office. She was postpartum, and while we were talking about her plan of care, she let me know that she's actually now without health insurance because she was just fired from her job while she was on maternity leave. It includes the example of a patient that I saw in the hospital while rounding who was formerly in prison and in the process of transitioning out, and in that process lost his health coverage, and thus his advanced but stable chronic conditions all became decompensated together and landed him in the hospital. It also includes examples of multiple patients this month, February 2020, telling me about how they couldn't fill the medicines that were prescribed for them because of costs. These patients all have health insurance. It also includes the example from my own family of us having to present to the hospital for our family tragedy. And despite our sorrow, we had to go through the indignities of verifying our health coverage, our health insurance, when all we wanted to focus on was supporting one another and the wellness of our family. It's for these reasons that I'm a supporter of Medicare for All. Medicare for All would finally make health care a human right in this country. No longer would people be falling through the cracks of a balkanized, fragmented system. No longer would patients be dying for lack of health insurance. Medicare for All is the superior choice, superior to the public option, because the public option would preserve a multi-tiered system with cracks that would allow people to fall through. This is also why I support Bernie Sanders for president. Bernie Sanders, more than any other person, is responsible, any other single person is responsible for why Medicare for All, why single-payer health insurance in the United States is the closest right now to being achieved than it has been in generations. But it's not just Bernie himself. Truly, the reason why I support Bernie Sanders is because of the movement behind him, and the movement in support of Medicare for All is what's going to make this a reality.